Today we're going to have a look at the electronic Honeytrap, or Facebook Honeytrap, story that actually started in 2015, but it is still basically going on. Here we have a officer from the Indian Air Force. He was contacted by a Indian girl, but of course it wasn't really an Indian girl. What happened is that when Indian girls would go to Pakistan, their SIM cards would be confiscated. The Pakistani intelligence service set up a base just over the border from India in Jhelum city, which meant that the SIM cards they took could be used on an Indian network, so that when people would get calls or messages, it would look like if they were actually from Indian people. Now, what you do is you scan Facebook for soldiers or Snapchat or WhatsApp or other things. And when you've done that, and I just did that 5 minutes ago and found this person, then you look, of course, at what are his political views, what are his hobbies, which kind of things are important for him. So you make a profile. And when you have a profile, here's a picture in uniform of the person. You start by leaving a like, and then maybe a few days later you leave a small heart and you say, wow, you look very handsome, I like men in uniform, really nice looking, blah blah blah. And then you start to seduce. You might send first a okay picture, then a bit more naughty picture. Now the Pakistani girls that were used, approximately 15 were used. They spoke Hindi perfect, and they would send naughty pictures, they would flirt, and that could last for weeks and months. But eventually, they need a little bit of help for their work. They would be journalists, or they would be involved in a peace study, or something that would kind of explain why they were asking questions. And they would start with asking very small questions, maybe about the food on the base the soldier would be based on. Now, this is not a top secret thing, but of course a soldier is not supposed to tell these kind of things. On the other hand, really, does the food matter that much? No, it probably doesn't. But these small questions would, of course, slowly become bigger questions. And because the girls pretended to be journalists, they would say, oh, no, but my article did really well. Hey, I'll give you some money. And then they would pay relatively small amounts, 30 to 50,000 rupees, which is approximately $600-700 US. At the point they accept the money, you pretty much have a spy, because if it ever comes out that this guy gave secret information, no matter if it's about airplanes or food, and that he got paid for it, he will go to jail for spying. Now, Ranjit, the guy from the Indian Air Force, he was contacted by a woman that claimed to be Damini McNaught and claimed to be an executive of a UK-based media firm that was writing about the Indian Air Force. Picture on the right is of this lady. There are a few pictures out. I've used Yandex to find her, but it's probably not her real name, and it could just be a bunch of pictures of the same person connected to it. The aftermath of this, because like I said, it started in 2015, was that when the Indian military started investigating that, they actually arrested 12 people that in the same way had been tricked into giving secret information. But they also had 2,000 suspects, people that they couldn't prove they'd given information, but potentially had, and they had all been contacted in one way or the other, or flirting with these Pakistani girls. So it's a massive operation. Now, is this over? No, it isn't, because nowadays the same operations still run. They just use different ways of communication. They use WhatsApp, Telegram, still a little bit of Facebook, and they don't use WeChat. I can see on this picture there's WeChat, but WeChat has been blocked by the Indian government. Nowadays they scan people on Snapchat, And the way you do that is just you go close into a military base, and how closer you get, how more precise the information is. I'll show a little bit a video how it works. The difference is that you now can use things like Snapchat. We click on it and we can see this is 8 minutes old, 9 minutes old. Now, if you know where a military base is, you could pretty much just click into it. Okay, that was a cute cat. And well, the video showed how you can find people. And then when you know a little bit about them, you just contact them via one of the other apps. And the whole story starts again. Oh, you look handsome. Oh, that was a nice video. Wow, that food you were eating was great. And eventually you try to lure them in. Well, again, thanks for watching. I would very much appreciate if you subscribe. It keeps me going.